Hello again, everybody. Zacatech is here with my very first wall review for the new year. For this Monday, January 7th of 2019, from the Airway Center in Orlando, Florida, the home of Manias 24 and 33. Hope everyone had themselves a very happy holidays the last few weeks. They have come and gone. Now we are in the new year, baby. I have not made a wall review in about 2 weeks. And I kind of warned you in the last wall review I made would end up being my last video of the year without even knowing it. I had a feeling it was going to be, and it ended up being it. Because I was at my dad's family on Christmas Eve, and on New Year's Eve, I was DJing. Now, I will say this about New Year's Eve Wall. Christmas Eve Wall was okay. New Year's Eve Wall was in Detroit, much better than the one I went to. Which made me say, why wasn't that the wall in March? They had a steel cage match. Elias actually did something, and Ronda Rousey actually showed up. Why couldn't we get that wall in March? Anyway, hope everyone had themselves, like I said, the last couple of good weeks. With the holidays, Merry Christmas, New Year's, and all that. When it comes to what I got for Christmas, got a few little knickknacks like candy and a couple electronic things and a couple gift cards. But the biggest thing I got was definitely for my mother. She knows I like to bowl a lot. Been wanting my own bowling ball. Got my own bowling ball. Not just any one. A WWE bowling ball. Yeah, it's a little dated because you see Enzo and Casa on it. But Cena's on it, Wells is on it, talk about them in a second, and the New Day are on it. So, there you go. Little David, Enzo, and Casa, hey, happy to get that bowling ball. I'm going to get it drilled probably sometime by the end of the week because the bowling alleys will close for Christmas and stuff. So, there you go. Now, heading towards tonight's wall, lots going on. Vince was in his office thinking to himself, alright, people, we're going head to head tonight against the College Football Championship. With Clemson against Alabama. Knowing we've had the lowest ratings the last 2 weeks of Raw on the holidays, and knowing that AEW is actually a reality. They get all these acts. And Omega may be going there instead of us. Indie fans say, yeah, Omega stay with AEW, fuck WWE. Anyway. We show AEW the dirty, still the number one. Show the Bucks and Cody and those Bullet Club marks. Never mind. That we are the elite. So, what we need title matches. And we need returns. We need the return of John Cena, Braun Strowman, Brock Lesnar, and more importantly, Hulk Hogan. Triple H stands up. But did he say the N-word? Fuck that Hulk Hogan! Triple H again. But he dissed black people! Fuck that Hulk Hogan! We'll talk about it in a minute. With those returns and matches, I thought it was pretty good tonight. Not as good as best walls ever, better than recent. I think they kind of peaked with the first hour. Crowd kind of died after the first hour. But there was still some good stuff in there. Got some building for the Rumble. New Year, a lot of old faces returning. And on the new faces, premiered during main event. Because Lacey Evans and EC3, I heard, worked main event tonight. So, see them on the network in a couple weeks on that show. Anyway, let's start this bad boy off with a brawl. After an insignia for Mean Gene, we had a brawl involving Bobby Lashley and Seth Rollins. Following up on what happened during the match last week in Detroit, when Rollins got himself disqualified in his match against Lashley when he nailed him with a steel chair, being motivated by Triple H. With Triple H saying that no one gets an automatic rematch for their titles. You have to go earn that rematch, and he had to talking to Rollins. Kind of like what Vince is doing, bringing up the real AJ Styles on SmackDown. He went on to win a fatal 5-way last week to get a shot against the new Daniel Bryan in a rematch for the WWE Championship at the Rumble, which should be pretty good. I know people are like, oh, new era, same faces win? Guess what? AJ Daniels a good feud. Now, Rollins and Ambrose's feud's been up and down. But with that motivational speech from Triple H, Rollins kind of brought back the old Seth Rollins, the Monday Night Rollins guy, destroyed Lashley with the chair last week, and Leo Rush too. And the follow-up came, like I said, to begin Raw with a brawl with them. Big brawl backstage, great way to start up Raw. Went up to the ringside area, and they were just tearing it up. And then here comes John Cena. Had heard more John Cena sucks chants tonight than in Pittsburgh, because that Pittsburgh SmackDown last week was pre-taped, so they're able to dub it. Cena with his new haircut, which a lot of people are memeing and making fun of more than the Bud Box memes. Talked about being back on Raw and SmackDown. Of course, we saw him interact with Becky Lynch last week. That was great. Interacting with the man. As he declared himself another entrant in the Royal Rumble. We've got a lot of people entering the men and women's Royal Rumble in the last couple of days on social media. Cena's in it. A lot of people in it. Basically, all the people involved in this segment are in the battle, in the Royal Rumble, including the man who first interrupted Cena, being Drew McIntyre. Relishing after his great steel cage match against Dolph Ziggler last week, he wants to target Cena. He doesn't care about who he slept with and who he hasn't, and what kind of haircut he has this week. I think I saw a shirt that says, Cena, cut your hair. And McIntyre's like, I care about your accomplishments, and I'm coming for you. And Cena's like, how about you do something that no one else has done? You know, I've heard the same promo from every other new guy that wants to beat down the franchise and do nothing about it. And McIntyre's like, I'm not going to talk it, I'm going to show it. So as McIntyre and Cena were going to brawl, Bobby Lashley came back with Leo Rush. Not too happy about the brawl that just happened with Rollins. Saying that they're not going to do anything. They're going to stop the show. They're going to cancel Raw until something's done with that lunatic Seth Rollins. And just then and there, Rollins came back out from behind. Bam! Attacked Lashley. And they made a little brawl in their hands with McIntyre and Cena getting involved. And then Dean Ambrose getting involved. So I'm like, okay, maybe get a tag match. I thought at first we were going to get a singles match with Cena and McIntyre. Then we saw the arrival of Lashley and Rollins. Like, okay, we have a tag match. And then we saw Ambrose. 6-man? Who's the 6th guy? Well, since Elias is booked tonight, where did the bell come out? And that's what bumped us to the 6-man tag. Great way to kick things off. The brawl. The segment leads towards a 6-man, very intense 6-man tag. Like I said, they kind of peaked with this match. A big main event match for the first hour. They really wanted to beat the college football playoff, huh? Anyway, there were some good spots in this match. My favorite spot was when Cena and Balor got most of the heat in this match. You know, Cena was isolated a lot, especially being dominated by McIntyre and Lashley. Finn could get a hot tag eventually, including delivering a coup de grace at one point, but then getting distracted. Until he get countered with a Claymore from McIntyre. I think that spot was when Rollins finally got the hot. I knew they were going to save the real hot tag for Rollins. It was Rollins and Ambrose. And I love the spot where like Rollins going to jump rope, transition to the middle rope, bam! Big moonsault from the top onto Lashley. And McIntyre on the floor. Great spot there. Probably my favorite spots in the match. That was great. Your moonsault on the outside. That was great. And then all the finishes started happening. McIntyre trying to go for Claymore. Then Cena came in the FU. Lashley speared Cena. And was trying to go for Dirty Deeds. And then Rollins came back with the Falcon Arrow. An attempt at the Frog Splash, but Ambrose rolled out of it. But then Rollins would nail the stomp and the 1-2-3 victory for Rollins and his team. He's pinned the Intercontinental Champion. If that's not enough Triple H for a rematch, nothing will convince him. And he was convinced afterward. He was seen backstage on the screen talking to Bayley and Sasha. So Rollins went storming to the back saying, Triple H, you want to motivate me? You want me to burn it down, huh? I just pinned the champ. Does it require any more from you? Does it mean I finally get a rematch? Huh? I pinned the champ. Triple H's like, okay, Rollins, you want an Ambrose, you got him. Tonight, you and him. Main event. Falls Count Anywhere for the IC Championship. So Rollins technically earned the match by pinning the champ in this match, setting up the match for tonight. They are both in the Rumble. So that's why we're having this match tonight, because they're both in the Rumble. So is Lashley, Cena, and McIntyre, and Balor. Now on to our next affair, the Mean Gene Okerlund tribute. Because rest in peace, Mean Gene Okerlund. That was one of my childhood guys, you know. I was born in '88, and Gene Okerlund was one of the best announcers Commentator, JR for sure. But announcer, Mean Gene was the voice of the early part of my childhood, for those early years in the WWF and, of course, in WCW, the hotline, all that great stuff. So, when it was announced he was going to be tributed on Raw, of course, Hulk Hogan's name was brought up. Hogan's not been on Raw in 4 years. He was at Crown Jewel, but never brought up again. Everyone's got an opinion about Hulk Hogan these days. Once this was announced over the weekend on social media and adding on with WWE advertising Hogan merchandise again, the floodgates opened and everyone started making comments I made in the beginning of the video. But he said the N-word! Hulk Hogan! He made fun of black guys in a sex tape! Hulk Hogan! So a lot of people saying KKK comments, blah, 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 blah. But no matter what you think about him, about being a racist egomaniac, you can't deny it was a classic tribute tonight to Mean Gene. He came out with a Mean Gene or Mania shirt on. He was fumbling his words a little bit. It kind of felt real. He kept saying Mean Gene loved to entertain 5 times. It felt like it was really fumbling tonight because it was really emotional. Went to a great promo package. The last few months we've seen a lot of superstars die but not get much of a tribute segment on the show. Only saw a in memoriam for Dynamite Kid and Kurt Henning's dad. Larry the Axe Henning. Not much of a tribute montage, just a little insignia for him. But Mean Gene got the insignia and a promo package, which he promptly deserved. Great done. And then Hogan, back on screen, did a classic, well, let me tell you something, Mean Gene, promo, mentioning all the dead guys. Some people say, oh, he's just making us feel bad for him more. He mentioned Macho Man, mentioned Andre, mentioned Ultra Warrior, guys who kind of hated him, and such, the Hogan stories, and mentioned Mr. Perfect. And I thought it was going to forget Andre, but he didn't mention Andre. So it was a great promo, though, from Hogan. He didn't make it truly about himself. He did say, what you going to do when Mean Gene Mania one's down on you, God? Whatever, So I love the package. It was a classy enough tribute. Hogan did get the job done. No matter what your opinion is of Hogan, he was the right guy for it. He was the right guy. So I had to do that bunch there to pay tribute to Mean Gene. Especially coming days after the 20th anniversary of the Finger Poker Derby. Anyway, on to our next affair, a tag team title rematch. Hey, not supposed to get automatic rematches, but this was a required one because we saw 2 weeks ago the Revival finally get a tag team title opportunity on Christmas Eve. But what they got was a lump of coal as they got screwed over as the one member of the Revival got pinned. Bumped in this rematch, and last minute they added the Lumberjack gimmick. We had all the Raw tag teams with the exception of Authors of Pain. I thought it was going to mean they're going to come out and attack them in the end, but nothing happened. The cleverest thing about the segment was the trunks of the Revival. Especially if you watch a certain YouTube show involving the villain and other members of the Elite, a little show called Being the Elite, you would get the trunks tonight. Hashtag FTR. They say it's Forever the Revival, but we all know what it truly stands for. And I love the Revival, but I just love saying those 3 words. Fuck the Revival! Just like saying it! It's kind of funny they wore those trunks tonight. It didn't even hit me until the commercial break. I'm like, wow, they're wearing FDR trunks. Great tag team match. Better than the match on Christmas Eve. And I was worried about the Lumberjacks getting involved. It was kind of more funny when you saw Lucha House Party trying to get involved. Especially the problems they've had with the Lucha House rule bullshit. But I'm happy we didn't get to a Lumberjack brawl. I was suspecting a Lumberjack brawl, but actually that cliche didn't happen tonight. Going to the job. Great double teaming. Great action. Both teams, especially a great double team from Gabe Wood later on in the match. It was a great fun tag match. And the Revival doing the double teaming too. But then Dawson and Gable near towards the end were switching small packages, especially Dawson had a small package on Gable, but then Rude would flip with referee distracted for a second, would flip Gable over to pin, and as Gable was getting counted, the right foot of Scott Dawson was underneath the rope, and the ref did not see it. So the Revival got screwed, or should I say, the Revival got fucked once again. First of all, guy got pinned, and now, for underneath the rope, even the Ascension, you saw the angle, the Ascension with the Lumberjacks, they even said, referee in front underneath the rope. So, it's a good story, though. You know, their match has been good. You know, their matches are getting better and better. I would guess they're going to get a kickoff match on the Royal Rumble pay-per-view for the Rumble match, maybe with multiple referees. You know, a good story out of it, make Revival more over, make people kind of sympathize for them to get the proper win and finally become the top guys they deserve to be when it came to the main roster 2 years ago before this fucking politics and injuries bullshit plagued everyone on the main roster. So, there you go. Great story, though, with the Revival. You know, hey, that's getting screwed over. At least they're paying attention to him, finally. On to our next affair. Here comes Elias, who's also declared himself for the Royal Rumble. So is his opponent tonight, Baron Corbin. As he's about to sing a song about old Corby's, Corbin interrupted, saying we don't want another mind-numbing performance from Elias. So we didn't get any musical performance, but we did get a match anyway with Elias and Corbin stemming from a brawl from last week. Now, this match was okay. This kind of when Raw kind of fell off a little bit. We had a great first hour. And second hour started pretty well with the tag match. But this kind of slowed down momentum for a little bit. The crowd started becoming dead a little bit. And just mentioned Hogan did not get a major pop. There was some boos, but there was people chanting for Hogan. So, there's some people who have forgiven him, some who have not. Anyway, back to this match. Elias and Corbin. It was okay. You know, Elias did okay in this match. Great move from him. But surprisingly, Elias lost. There was a little ref bump action with a little ref distraction. Elias got nailed shoulder first into the post. It would get turned into the end of days in the victory for Corbin. Now, Corbin has been the punching bag for the last few weeks for being the reason why Raw sucked, being targeted on screen for Raw's failures and misgivings. So, he needed some heat back. You know, he needed to get some momentum after being beat up literally by every member of the Raw roster in the last few weeks. Verbally and physically. So let's get some heat back, even at the expense of Elias. So it's an okay match. Corbin won. Let's move on to our next affair. The so-called face-to-face with Braun Strowman and Brock Lesnar for their match at the follow-up to TLC, the Royal Rumble. It just be, is this probably going to be early warning for the worst segment of the year? It's kind of a waste of a segment. Braun Strowman was calling out Lesnar. Lesnar was backstage with Paul Heyman. Heyman trying to deliver another decent promo about what Lesnar's going to do at the Rumble. And Strowman's like, I'm not waiting to the Rumble. I want you now, Lesnar. After 10 minutes of bullshit, Lesnar finally came out with 10 more minutes of bullshit and nothing happened. They didn't brawl or anything. Maybe it's because of, one, they want to keep both guys healthy before the Rumble. Two, they're probably going to save their big beatdown for the Raw before the Rumble. And three, Strowman, remember, he's still coming from elbow injury. He didn't wear a cast tonight. That goes back to reason number one. They want to keep everyone healthy, especially Strowman, who just recovered from surgery a month ago. But still, it was a pointless segment. That's what really kind of dragged Raw down more. Because you had Elias and Corbin was like, and then the segment kind of like, pfft. So, there you go. So, pointless segment. Hopefully, the other segments are better before the Rumble. Especially, Lesnar's supposed to return the Raw before the Rumble on January the 21st. Yeah, 21st. On to the next matchup. Mixed tag. Getting a lot of mixed tags lately on the main roster. Especially last week on SmackDown, we saw Cena and Becky take on Andrade Cien Almas and Selena Vega. At least Almas didn't get taken down by the man who's faster than Rey Mysterio and the man who's more powerful than a Big Show. A man who's able to bury Carrillos in a single bound. Thank God Almas didn't get pinned by Super Cena. Selena got tapped out by Becky Lynch instead. At least Almas got protected. Anyway, we had another mixed tag with the Raw winners of the Mixed Match Challenge, Alicia Fox and Jinder Mahal, as they take on Ember Moon and a better partner than Kurt Hawkins, Apollo Crews. capitalizing on his momentum from getting a win in a battle royal to get a shot against Dean Ambrose last week at a great showing. At least he's still on screen. Very short match. Apollo and Jinder jabbed off for a little bit. They bought for a bit. But then Alicia got tagged in. So Amber and Alicia got some moves in before Alicia got fed to Amber's Eclipse. And the victory, kind of a short match. It was okay. It was there. At least he got Apollo on screen again, giving him some more momentum to make people cheer him more instead of just having be on this week, not be on at all this week. And at least they're getting Amber an opportunity to be on television too, as they're both in the Royal Rumbles, respectfully. So more people added to the Rumble. And Jinder's in it too, and Alicia Fox. Now on to the segment maybe people thought was going to be the worst segment of the night. Moment of Bliss. I love Bliss. I love she's getting an opportunity to host a talk show while she's still not medically clear to compete. But we saw what happened with the This Is Your Life segment with Bayley a couple years back. Anyway. She had okay. It was interesting she was on the stage, not in the ring. As she yelled for coffee! Coffee! Yeah, that's an old thing. Anyway, she talked about her guest. And they had a montage of the debut rookie year of the Raw Women's Champion, Ronda Rousey. So Rousey came out and Alex was like, what do you think about your year? And Rousey was like, I've had a great year, but it's not about looking back. It's about looking forward. Too many people looking back. Looking back. Too many people looking back. Bob Seger system. Or Bob Seger, Silver Bullet Band, whatever. Bob Seger-ism. Look it up, kids. Looking back, Bob Seger. Prefer the live version from Live Bullet. Anyway, Rousey's like, instead of looking back, looking forward, like I said, she wants a new opponent. The unspoken hero of Raw. I thought she was going to mention Natalya for a minute because they had a good match on Christmas Eve. No, it was Sebastian's name came out of her mouth. Sasha Banks. Interesting. I've always been a Sasha fan, but she's kind of turned irrelevancy in main roster, especially the whole won't they break up angle with Bayley and Sasha. And a lot of people started interrupting. At this moment, Nia Jax came out with a little sassiness promo that went nowhere, talking about how she's not done with Rousey. Saying basically, I'm not finished with you, Ronda. Saying she wants another opportunity to beat up on Ronda. And then Sasha Banks came out saying that I would be honored to face you for the title, Ronda. And Nia's like, excuse me, get in the line, honey. And I love Sasha's reply here. Bitch, what line? Bang! I love that line. So we went to a match with Nia and Sasha, with Bayley and Tamina at ringside. But at least that segment didn't turn into a disaster. The Moment of Bliss, although it's really a train wreck of a segment, that'll be in the Strowman Lesnar segment. But hey, it was an okay segment led to this match. Sasha had to carry the match because big, strong, muscular women can handle Nia well. But when you're, Nia well, especially with Nia and Rousey, they had a good match at TLC. But when you're kind of puny, like a Sasha or a Bayley, you can't do much with Sasha. You can't do well. Can't do much with Nia. There were other good spots. I did like that nasty bump that Sasha took with the Gorilla Press slam on the crate on the outside. We did see some shenanigans with Bayley and Tamina a bit. There was another nasty bump I thought was going to be a botch for a minute. When Sasha did a Hurricanrana on the Nia, she kind of fell off the top there on Nia lay on her face, and Sasha landed harder. And also the Samoan drop attempt from the top rope after Nia did nail a Samoan drop onto Sasha in the ring, which ended up being a 2 count. She did try to go for a super Samoan drop, but instead did like a little flip back to Sasha on the post. I thought it was a botch, but it wasn't. That was a nasty bump. Man, Sasha likes taking those bumps that would kill her. She likes taking those nasty bumps. Even if Nia looking strong, Sasha looked harder. Start back with the big moves with the Minioa. And after numerous attempts, she finally get the bank statement locked in after another interaction with Tamina and Bayley. And the tap out for Nia as Sasha Banks will be going on to face Ronda Rousey for the Raw Women's Championship at the Rumble. Yes, it would have been a great opportunity for a new face, a new star to get the opportunity against Rousey. But I'd rather see Sasha Banks lose than to see Ember Moon lose to Rousey. Because whoever's going to face Rousey is going to lose before Mania. But I'm looking forward to seeing Sasha against Rousey, even though it might be face against face if Rousey doesn't play the heel or if Sasha doesn't finally turn heel. So, there you go. Decent match, though. It's kind of slow going, but it was okay for what it was. At least it got Sasha over and gets a match that we kind of been liking to see. Sasha against Ronda should be interesting. As long as both don't kill themselves and botch, like Sasha sometimes. Now on to our main event. The Falls Count Anywhere match between Dean Ambrose and Seth Rollins. This feud, we know, has been very disappointing, with Ambrose turning into a germaphobe character and the match at TLC sucking because it didn't have a stipulation. This should have been the match at TLC. I'm sorry. This is way, way better than a TLC match. This should never have had a normal match at TLC. This is a blood feud, and it needed to feel like it. This finally feels like a fucking blood feud after some missteps. Rollins came down from behind during Ambrose's entrance. They brought him on the backstage area, fought on some more little crate cases. Some great spots there. Even with some scavenging spots. And then there was a ladder. Kind of a weird little callback to TLC. Knowing that match should have been a ladder match. And not Elias and Lashley. Anyway. They walked back to the outside. Kind of shit. They went to commercial break and didn't air the good spot when Rollins and Ambrose went through a table. The announce table. That was aired after the break. That was stupid. Went to break and didn't air it live. Ball a bit on the outside. Some more. Finally got back in the ring area after a dirty deeds attempt on the outside as the concrete was exposed by Ambrose. Trying to do the same thing he did to Rollins when he turned on him the night they won the Raw Tag Team belts. The night Roman got sick and revealed he has leukemia again. But Rollins would capitalize and would reverse it into a back body drop on the floor to the exposed floor. He went back in the ring with a couple big moves, including Falcon Arrow and the Buckle Bomb. Super kick, teasing for the curb stomp, but then Ambrose would try to counter it. But then Ambrose would eventually be fed to the curb stomp. And at that point, I was like, who's going to interfere? Is anyone going to interfere? This is Falls Count Anywhere, no DQ. Anything goes. So as Rollins was about to pin Ambrose with the stomp, here comes the interference. Bobby Lashley! Continuing their drama from the beginning of the evening. Beating down on Rollins on the outside. Driving him with a big move in the ring. Before delivering a big nasty spear. With a prone Ambrose still recovering from that stomp. Got launched. Basically lifted by Lashley onto Rollins. Tried to hook the leg, but didn't hook it up all the way. But still got the 1, 2, 3 victory. With a little help from Lashley. Oh, ding got by with a little help from Lashley. Oh, ding got by with a little help, with a little help, with a little help from Lashley and Leo Wash. Lashley, Lashley, Lashley. Anyway, after that, Lashley wasn't done with Rollins. The crowd was chanting for tables. They finally got him. After the match, when Lashley brought out a table and powerbombed Rollins on it to end the evening. Screwy ending with a purpose. We're probably going to get a proper one-on-one match with Lashley and Rollins next week. We thought we were going to get the one-on-one match tonight. But we actually got a 6-man out of it. Which was a good way to start and a great finish. In between, some ups and downs. But hey, it's still the beginning of the new year. There's more change on SmackDown. He's got Mustafa Ali on the show now. That's cool. Full time on the main roster. Awesome. Hopefully it means more 205 Live guys can be allowed to go to main roster instead of being in a 205 Live bubble. So anyway, decent Raw tonight. That's what happens next week as we head towards the Rumble. And I'm telling you now, sadly, I will not be making a Royal Rumble review. I know. I have other plans for that Sunday. I will be watching the Rumble. If my little rule is, if I don't watch it live, I want to make a review. That's why I haven't made a Raw review in 2 weeks. I like reviewing stuff when I watch it live. It's my little policy. So I'm not going to make a Rumble review. So first time I've never made a Rumble review since I started making Rumble reviews in 2012. So there you go. So, thank you for watching this first review of the year. With that in mind, You have been attacked by the review from Zach. See you next time. And again, Happy New Year. Bye-bye.